Good afternoon, good evening, my good people.
Evening.
Y'all see who I got with me, man? I got my dog, Wendy Ghostin in the building. What up, Wendy?
What up, Maceo?
Hey, and if y'all didn't know, y'all know what it is, man. It's Recruiting 101. The process, man, where we are back, we in effect, we trying to help you athletes, you parents. We understand. Believe me, we understand. We are fighting for the 99% that have to really, really, really go through this process. What you think about that, Wendy?
Man, it's crazy right now. It's a lot going through the process. Still just trying to figure out, make some decisions, and like we talked about last time, it's been more difficult this year than it has been in any other year. Hey, but y'all gotta stay strong through this process. So we told you it was a process. We've been telling you for years it is a process. It's not easy. It's not for the faint of heart.
No.
It's those that love the game,
Yeah.
whatever sport it is.
And real quick, because I'm gonna kind of go off script for a second here because one of my partners posted this today, and this is one of the things that you like to rail on a lot, and he basically was saying, and he was just asking just a simple question for athletes: do you love just being recruited, or do you love the actual process?
Right.
You know, we we know how everything goes. Everything is social media. Everything is for show. And listen, valid, invalid, whatever. You know what I'm saying? If you do have those kind of offers, I mean, hey, be proud. But
Right.
at the same time, I think so many times people get caught up, parents get caught up, athletes get caught up, and you kind of put yourself in a bad spot. Just talk about that part of this thing, Wendy, because again, we talk about it a lot.
So I mean, if I kind of equate it to like a relationship, right? People, I know
Mm,
that this is crazy, but it's like the thrill of the chase, right? So we get all caught up in that part of it. That's why I think people like recruiting, right? Because somebody wants you, like,
right.
or they are at least acting like they want you, right? Because it's a chase for them to get the best personnel, right?
Hmm.
And so it's similar to a relationship, right? You're trying to find the best fit, right? And so it's the same thing. So we all love the thrill of the chase. And for those that are going through this process, just remember that they are pulling out all stops to get you, right? And
Right.
so that's not how it's always going to be, right? It's kind of like the beginning of a relationship, right? Everything's smooth sailing, it's all lovey dovey, it's all hard. And then wait, right, and then that wears off, right? Which is your arrival on campus for real, right?
Right.
And now none of that stuff is there. They're not rolling out the red carpet for you anymore. And so what you have to do is see past all of that, right? And decide, or make a decision based on what is real
Right.
and what isn't.
Right.
But yeah, some people fall in love with recruiting, right? Some people fall in love with the process, and they're not equal, but they're one and the same.
Hmm.
They go together, and then they fall out of love when they get on campus because they realize this is not like what it was or what they told me it was going to be. And y'all know how it goes. You got to sugarcoat everything, right? We got to make it sound good. We got to make it look good. And so that's what's happening. They're making it sound good and look good for you.
Right. Right. And it's so crazy. I mean, you and I, we've been in education, and we've done this athletic thing for so long, and we've seen so many kids go through it. They finish it, and then it's like when they reflect back on it, it's
Mhm.
almost like, man, whoo, I could have did this. I should have
Yeah,
did this. Oh man, this not what. And I like what you said. It's like a relationship, and
yeah.
it's like you said that early on, the cloud nine feeling,
And you
and
want
then
it to remain, right? You want it to stay like that, but sometimes it does. Very not as often as we want, but that's what you want.
right, right.
I
I
think
mean,
too
it's
that
tough.
yeah, I do. I think too that kids fall in love with like the social media aspect of it too. You mentioned that.
Right,
And I think that's important to point out because that's just the age that we're in. That's the age that we're living
no
in,
doubt, no
right?
doubt, no
And
doubt.
so that brings attention, even more attention, good or bad. we've seen the bad side of it bringing attention as well. So you just, I think we're in that stage where we're here for likes, right? And so like everything they post, everything they do, even the coaches reaching out is about likes. I've even seen the other side when kids are like, is another coach coming today? Like they're actually because it's like, it's just a lot. It becomes a lot for them.
Right.
Not that they don't actually want the coach. It's just that the process starts becoming overwhelming for them.
Yeah. And I think it's crazy as well. And I was talking to a parent last week, and one of the things that he kept talking about, he was like, well, it's hard to understand why are grown people hating on kids about it. And it was hard to, it wasn't hard to answer, but one of the things I did point out, I was like, just understand, this is how I look at it.
Yeah.
We're advocates for kids. We're advocates for parents going through this process. Listen, if you get 1 offer, if you get 30 offers, if you get 100 offers, listen, be proud of that, because that shows somebody is recognizing the work that you're putting in.
Exactly.
But I think we also have to understand too that, like, if you a parent and say your kid is not getting that type response, don't be upset. And because we say this all the time, everybody's process is different.
That's right.
Just continue to stay on your path.
Right.
When you just stay on your path, you stay in your lane, and you only worry about you.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about what's being said around you. You don't have time to worry about, such and such got 30 offers. Ain't nobody called me yet. Well, his process different than yours.
Different.
Her process is different than yours. So, like, I hate we kind of go through that so much, because I mean you see it all the time.
Yeah, definitely.
And I hate it, because I'm like, hey, run your race.
Run your race. That's a good way of putting it. Like, run your race. Sometimes slow and steady wins the race, and it because it's your race, right? It's not anybody else's race. It's the race to get the best school or the best fit for you.
For you.
So that's a good way to put it. Run your race.
Run your race.
And sometimes it's a marathon, people. Sometimes it's a marathon.
Let's say this: for the majority of you, it's going to be a marathon.
Going to be a marathon, right?
I mean, and that's fine.
100-yard dash. You're getting there quick.
It's not a sprint. It's not a sprint. And again, I just always hate to hear parents say stuff like, "Oh, he ain't better than, my son," or "She ain't better than my daughter." Beauty is in the eye of the beholder.
It is. It's all it needs and wants. It's all it needs and wants.
What this school views your child different than this other school.
Exactly. And we talked about so often too how kids often go to school and then they end up, a coach has a vision for them, they may even change positions. So what you're thinking they're looking for is not even sometimes what a coach is looking for.
Yeah.
Especially in your particular kid.
Right. So let's jump into this because this is something that's ruffled a lot of feathers. The dead period has been extended. What does this mean for the class of 22, Wendy?
Look, I can't say this enough. I even had a conversation with a good friend the other day about his kid. But what I will say is for the class of 22 is what Maceo just said. This is a marathon. This race is your race to be won. And I feel like what I'm seeing with the class of 22 is a lot of disappointment. I see because they're just feeling like they still haven't been able to get on these campuses. They feel like they haven't been able to go to camps. They feel like they don't know if the opportunity is there for them. And they're looking at what has happened to the class of 2021, right? So they're basing it on that. Here's the good thing. Hopefully, or here's the positive. Here's the thing. Hopefully we're going to be able to open up, right? Mm-hmm. And they will be able to get back on these campuses. Right now, we got, like you said, Mason, you're loving Sundays right now. We're able to watch college football right now on Sunday. something that we've never been able to do.
Never.
Right?
Big time exposure going on right now.
Exactly.
Big boy exposure.
And they may see that as a positive, they may see that as a negative. I see it as a positive, right? You're getting to see what may be available for you for next year, right? I think for the 2022, concentrate on your grades, finishing out this year strong. A lot of you are virtual. A lot of kids are having problems being virtual in school.
Right.
They're just used to being in a face-to-face environment, and being at home has presented its challenges for them as far as staying focused, because of course at home you can get on your video game, you can get up and walk around, you can go lay down and take a nap. Let's not even talk about taking a nap, just go back to bed, or even up, okay?
How about not even get out the bed?
Up at this point. So you think about all these things that they have can take advantage of, or I shouldn't say take advantage of, all these obstacles that are in their way at home, or these options that they have at home that they don't necessarily have. So I can get up and go eat when I want to, right? If I want to walk out of class because I don't have to teach something, I just get up and walk off, right? You had that option, right? When we were in school, you kind of had to sit there and kind of tough through it. So whether you wanted to pay attention or not, hopefully the teacher caught it and got you back on guard, back on task. But for them, I think that has presented its challenge. So what I'm encouraging them to do is to finish strong. Right now, you're gonna need these grades. They had for 2021 waived SAT and ACT. We don't know if that'll happen again.
Probably
right?
not.
We don't know. Yeah, we don't know. So y'all need to be in these classes. You need to be in some prep classes. You still should be taking the test because you don't know.
Right.
Now in the spring is a good time to still take your test. So I encourage you, if you have not already, still get you a test score in the books. That way you know what you need to focus on. And finish strong just academically. Keep working out. Many schools have already started their workouts for their fall sports. And so make sure you're attending those, getting up to the school. If you can't for some reason, or there's something going on, make sure you're getting the workout from the coach so that you can at least do it on your own, or you have a trainer that you can work with that is pushing you to do the things outside of your box, right? So that's what I'm thinking about for class of 2022 right now. Like, just stay focused. Reach out to those coaches. Send them film from the fall if you have it. If somebody's reaching out to you, keep the lines of communication open. I cannot
wide open
enough. Like, I don't care. Text, DM, whatever. Everybody back, because you just don't know right now where you might land.
Yeah, and to your point, I like what you talked about. It's crazy. Like, so I've OD'd on college football all weekend, and from what I'm seeing, these games have crowds.
Yeah.
Take a road trip, parents.
Yeah.
Load up the car, find one of these games. The schedule, everything is easy to find. Get your butt in that car.
Yeah.
Go see some of them schools. Got to holler at my dude, Coach Foster. I
love Coach Foster. I work with him.
My college track coach, everybody. He said a lot of these kids and parents are worried about other kids getting offers and think that they are getting the offers from all of these 7-on-7 tournaments. People don't understand that those offers were already in the process of being extended because all of these kids have game film.
Yep.
If someone offers a kid based on how they do drills and t-shirt shorts, I don't think that they will be employed long at these colleges. That's
something right there. That last minute.
That's an excellent point, Coach, because a lot of what has been done up to this point, a lot of kids have been exposed. A lot of these kids have gone to like numerous camps. They've put the work in and they've been in front of. So it's just certain kids. And Coach, I don't mean to call this kid out, but I'm gonna call this kid out because he's my guy. A kid like Terrence Love. So not only is Terrence Love a phenomenal athlete at Langston Hughes, he's a better student. And then when you factor in his measurables, his work ethic, and all of those things, you understand why he's getting all the attention that he's getting. But at the same time, his process is going to be different than another kid who may not have been on different college, hadn't been invited to a lot of these camps. But it's still room for you somewhere out here. if you're willing to put in the work. So, coach, that's a very great point. Run your race, parents, athletes. Run your race. You can't worry about what the next man doing. You can't, because you don't know what they went through to get to that point.
Macy, what are your thoughts? Okay, so I got to ask this, right? Since he brought up 7-on-7, and that's just really popular right now. And what are your thoughts? What are your thoughts on 7-on-7? Honestly,
so 7-on-7 has become the new AAU.
Mm-hmm.
No doubt about it.
I agree.
I remember when it first started. Like I hated, as a coach, I hated 7-on-7. Okay, let me tell you back. I enjoyed 7-on-7 because of the extra work that we got with our athletes.
Yeah.
Gave us a better chance to teach the offense. Got a chance to see other kids in competitive situations. What has become out of 7-on-7 once we start doing these elite teams, and we start, so when guys break away from their coaches,
mm-hmm.
their high school coach, and I've talked to several high school coaches about this. Some of the kids, depend on the program, not all programs, but depending on the program, kids pick up bad habits that they bring back into their program, and then coaches are forced to. You have to reteach your kid, like,
right.
You can. So every time you see a 7-on-7 video, you see these celebrations, the whole team run on the field and they ton the other team. I hate that.
We can't do. Right.
I hate that, because eventually that's going to spill back into high school.
Correct.
And what's going to end up happening, y'all know GHSA, y'all know the governing bodies of all of these things.
Right.
If they don't like what's going on, they would just shut it down. Because they've learned, they've seen what AAU and what travel baseball has done somewhat to kind of diminish what the actual season is about. But one thing about football, because football is always a contact sport, like how a guy looking t-shirt shorts is nothing like how you gonna look in pads.
Correct.
Believe that. I done seen plenty of t-shirt All-Americans who, like, you just see him in his 7-on-7, you be like, woo! Boy, stop, he ain't gonna catch a cold. He ain't going in there if we got pads on. So, like I say, I love the competitive spirit, and when done right, 7-on-7 could be a great thing. But I think what we're starting to get, because a lot of these kids are getting recruited, like people are going, like, hey, like 7-on-7 like a game.
Yeah,
almost. I mean, they rep hard.
There's crowds out there like watching it like it is a game. No, that's the crazy thing on sometimes.
Yeah, and see, and the coach point, 7-on-7 become a problem now because these trainers are telling these kids to skip out on their.
That's what I was going to bring up. That I feel like sometimes kids get to skipping out on the things for their actual school,
right?
Are just as important, because a part of that is the learning process for what will go on during the season. And so if you come back, then you may be in shape or whatever, but you're coming back on behind the 8 ball for the team,
right?
For school.
Right. And listen, I know 1 or 2 coaches who will basically tell the kid, listen, if you got your school activity comes first.
Oh yeah, for sure.
If you got something for the school, bump what we doing.
Well, I mean, the thing of it is, recruitment for football is high school. Like,
no doubt.
If you can't show up and do right for that, then I as a coach can't put my name on the line for you.
And again, I think. And I've had conversations with people with people who work on the board, and they are monitoring 7-on-7, and they like it's some aspects of it I like, but it's some stuff I do not like about 7-on-7. And listen, they will pull the plug on this thing in a minute. And what you don't want to happen is a situation where they're gonna tell elite programs that they're gonna tell these other people, listen, you either play with your high school, they're gonna start forming high school 7-on-7s. You're gonna play with your school, because again, some of the stuff you kind of get away with doing 7-on-7 season, if you with your coach, you know good and well
You can't get away with it.
you ain't gonna get away with it. And yeah, Coach Foster, those guys are few and far between because 707 has become it has become big business, become a money maker. It's like you can just Google 707 and it's a big tournament somewhere every weekend.
Every weekend.
I had a partner who was over in Tennessee at a shootout. Had another partner who was down in Florida for another shootout. And listen, this thing is like park ball. Park ball has 707 now. So hey, it's a thing, but understand governing bodies in states, the higher ups, they are watching this. They listen. They on Twitter. They see the videos. They see all that, and you know you got a lot of old school purists who like, ain't no place for that in football. You know? We don't football play with pads on anyway. So I don't know, but again, it's listen. We have to be careful.
Yeah.
Elite programs, upstarts, all of you have to be careful because again, a lot of coaches are gonna start telling some of their kids, "Hey, I don't want you to play. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't want you to play. You get hurt. It's so many things, and it takes away from your actual season.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but you know, that's just my 2 cents, y'all.
I feel you. I agree with you on a lot of that. That's the good thing.
What I know, everybody. I just been in the game for what I know. Listen to me. You better listen to me. I'm smarter than everybody. I'll just
goodness.
Our next topic, again, something that you harp on so much, and I can't wait to hear you deep dive on this. Recruiting is a long game. You know, why your school decision should be looked at as a lifelong decision, not just, you know, hey, for the next 3 to 4 years, I'm going to, you know, talk about this, Wendy, because this is one of these things that you love to tell people that, hey, it's deeper than just that part of it.
That's why, you know, I'll go back to this. So I tell people, visit these schools at times other than when they're rolling out the carpet for you. Like right now, they're not really able to do that. But like I encourage you to visit these schools as much and as often as you can. And that just may look like walking around on campus, driving through, when you're in the area, just because, and I know some people go across the country, but if you have an opportunity and you're in that area, go by the school, because what it looks like when they bring you on campus versus what it looks like when you're there every day, 2 totally different things. And also you want to be in a situation, they just opened the door and the dog is going crazy. You want to be in a situation where you can see you have a love for that school beyond the game. Let's put it like that. A love for the school beyond the game. And so often that is not the case. Or they're very attached to a coach, which I totally get, because that is the person that recruits you, right? Right. People go because they know what they're going to get from their coach, right? If I wouldn't go to a school if I didn't think, even if I liked the school, I don't know that I would go to the school if I didn't think I would get proper coaching at that place, right? Mm-hmm. So it's 2-way, right? But also in the back of your mind, I always keep the fact that coaches can be removed at any time, right? Or coaches can choose to leave at any time.
They do it all the time.
So, and they do it all the time, and they do it at the last minute. They've already recruited you. I mean, sometimes they leave and then they pull the next coach pulls your recruitment, right? So make sure you're thinking about all of those things. Think about why you're choosing the school. Look at what your major is going to look like at school. Talk to the coaches about like how that major fits in with their program. Sometimes certain majors don't work at certain schools with their athletic programs because of the times of the classes or like requirements for labs and things like that. So you want to make sure that, or will prolong your time at the university. I shouldn't say that you can't get it done. It may prolong your time because you're always working around a schedule, right?
Right.
So there only may be, the class may be offered in the fall, but it's football season and y'all got workouts. So you can't ever take the class in the fall. The only other time you can always take the classes in the summer. Well, then that pushes you off track every year for that particular class. Mm-hmm. And I think there's just so much more that goes into it. Look at the living look at the dorms. Let me tell you, that first year, you're committed to living on that campus, right?
Facts.
You better decide if the living conditions are such that you are happy with. I'll never forget. We went to drop. I went with someone to take them to school, and this is a long time. I won't mention the name of the school. I'm not mentioning anything. Man, they used to go to dorms still. They had no air conditioning, and I turned around and looked and said, "Ain't no way I stay down here because y'all don't have air conditioning." They're like the people will look, and I was like, "What are they gonna do?" And this is in the South. They were like, "Well, they got fans, a box fan." Okay, so anyway, y'all can call me whatever y'all want to call me, but Wendy ain't staying nowhere without no air conditioning. So, but I mean, these are just all these things you have to think about now. And I hope that schools have progressed past that point. Again, this was a while back. But these are all the little things, all the questions you need to ask. Like, you know, how far off campus is the athletic dorms? Usually they're right on campus or they're very close to the facilities. But like, how far is that in relationship to your classes? Because depending on how large your university is, how do you get across campus? A lot of those have, a lot of those guys have motorbikes or motorcycles or mopeds or bikes. You know, there's just so much to think about, and even things that regular students, you know, that are not athletic, don't think about right on a campus, and that's why you do have transfers. Kevin just brought up, Coach Foster just brought up the fact that the transfer portal, I mean, that's why kids, if I don't like it, I'm in the transfer portal. Here's the issue. A lot of people get in that transfer portal and never get out.
But they stuck.
That thing is like a black hole. It's just like you're in there and you're going and you thinking I'm going to get out because what you think, I'm not happy here, somebody else will pick you up, but you don't know that they don't already have what they need.
And what's crazy to that point about the transfer portal, like everything else, recruiting is about relationships.
Yeah. Yep.
Who knows you in the portal? You know, have you let anybody, once you're in the portal, have you contacted anybody? Do you have do you have a plan before you jump in that portal?
Yeah, I almost feel like you need a plan. Like you should have reached out low key or something before you decided to just jump in that thing. Because if not, like you said, that you hoping that somebody is going to find your name and your position and your information just based on a search.
Yeah.
And that doesn't always work.
Yeah. I had one of our good friends. We had him on the show. Not going to put him all on blast, but his son was in his son was in a situation at a major university where, you know, hey, for whatever reason, things quite didn't work out. You know, hey, but what they did prior to jumping into the portal, they did their homework.
You better.
They did their homework, and in doing their homework, they kind of found a home before they jumped in the portal. But a lot of it was
the way it should be done.
A lot of it was relationship based, and what they did, hey. He was recruiting him at one point. And they navigated the portal where they navigated those relationships
prior to.
Then when they got into the portal,
it was a quick grab.
Oh, he was on the portal like a day, and it was so crazy because he went in the portal, he started getting phone calls, but he really had already made up his mind. But they were like, you know, we'll kind of listen, but he found the best fit for him, and he still got 2 years of eligibility. But he done got his degree, so he a grad student. So he finna be able to get his master's and whatever else come with it, especially all that stuff. And he's still doing it for free. But he used those relationships.
And I think that's the most important part of going into the portal is making sure that you have a way out of it as well. Because like I said, it's like the black hole. You can get lost in there, and then what?
Yeah.
What? Like now your career is over, or could be potentially over.
This stuff is so relationship based, and recruiting really comes down to relationship. You talked about it earlier. Those phone calls, those DMs. That listen,
reply. I
see it all day. College coaches, hey, 2022, drop your huddles. You know, blah, 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 blah. Man, he should have 50 million replies because, hey, You never know. And especially if you're not getting letters. I mean, because letters are still going out. The recruiting is still, as much as it can go on, it's still going on.
Yeah.
And again, if you don't attack your recruiting, if you sit around and wait, we see it every year. Your senior year, you're gonna be sitting around here looking crazy.
Yeah.
And then you're gonna be blaming folks, you be pointing the finger, and you like, well, I mean, okay, but what did you do?
Yeah, I agree.
What did you do, parents? You are responsible for your child. Again, that coaches football, basketball, baseball, track. They have to look at the program as a whole.
Yep.
You just got one.
Your
athlete. Focus on your athlete. Get ahead of this thing, man. Like, don't. It's nothing worse than seeing these people sitting back waiting. Like, hey, yeah, I'm up. Boy, stop.
It's a hard game to play. I mean, Mason, I'm going through it now. It's a hard game to play. You know what I'm saying? And just to talk really quick about what Kevin is talking about with the portal and Olympic sports, and it's not even it is the portal, but also just COVID and what it has done to Olympic sports. I mean, some schools have gotten rid of some of the sports.
Yeah.
And again, with them granting the extra year with kids maybe in the portal, the recruitment is so slow or non-existent on some of these Olympic sports. And so it's making what was already a long process even longer and more stressful.
Right. Stressful.
Like I can't even explain like the things that even we have gone through and the information we've uncovered through this process, dealing with an Olympic sport. It's crazy. Yeah. It is absolutely crazy.
And like you just saying, you have to identify what programs, like say when initially when COVID broke, the first thing that a lot of schools did, okay, we got to cut all non-revenue sports.
And those are usually a lot of your Olympic sports.
Those are usually your Olympic sports. And it was crazy to see because I knew personally 3 different athletes that we helped through Recruiting 101 who had to end up like, man, they just told today they told us we're not having a season. We're done with it. We're done with no track and field program. And now where do I go?
Right. What am I going to do now? What am I going to do?
Man.
And that's again why it's important to choose a school you will be okay with. Should that happen? Should your season be taken from you? Like, are these kids okay with being at these schools and still learning during this process, being a part of that environment through this process? And if you don't like or even like, I should just say even like the school that you're at, it makes it difficult, right?
Yeah.
That sport is taken away from you. I mean, I've seen it happen when football kids go in and get red shirted. They can't handle being red shirted for a year, some of them, because they're so used to since 9th grade, 10th grade, just starting every game, playing all the time. And then when that's taken away from them, now they got to concentrate on schoolwork. It's like, wait a minute, what am I supposed to do?
Yeah. And listen, it's a reason they red shirted you. And
that part.
Always look at it as a positive. Always look at get out your feelings and listen. Yeah. Listen, it's tough because you used to being the guy you used to playing. Listen, use that time to become a better student. Hell, to become a better athlete. Get stronger.
Right.
Get that because it's a lot of stuff that you can get done that really, if you were playing and you went in the rotation, it's a lot of stuff you couldn't do. But show your coaches, show your teammates, hey, I'm taking advantage of this time. I'm not sulking. I used to get the phone calls in the middle of the night, man, coach, man, they tripping, coach. And like, nah, what are you doing? And yeah, coach, Texas State signed the entire class of football from the portal. And that's the thing. We said this on the show last year. The portal is getting ready to change how. Yeah, it's getting ready to change.
Or just how recruitment is done.
Yeah. How recruitment is done, because again, if I can get a ready-made kid who's already played college football, is physically ready to go, versus bringing in this high schooler who I got to teach him the offense. It's gonna be a transition for him because some coaches, I think some coaches, listen, they on the hot seat. I can't wait on.
There's no reason why you should be able to get it done. Y'all done had a year off, get it done.
I can't wait on this hot shot freshman to mature. I gotta go get that dog. Think about what Deion did at Jackson State. One thing Deion did, Deion signed a lot. He signed a lot of transfers. He signed a lot of JUCOs. They went in every school is doing it. You kind of mix in the that stud, the high school stud, with some guys who I can go in and plug these guys, and I can teach this guy, which kind of leads into our next point, the D1 or bust mentality. And it's so crazy because when I wasn't, so this wasn't even gonna be part of the show until I had a conversation with a parent that just blew my mind. It totally blew my mind, and so let's just say this. I get labeled a lot of time as the jerk because the first thing. So when I hear somebody say that, or I'm like, hey, and so the first time I say, how tall is he? How fast is he? Because that's gonna tell me a lot right there.
Mm-hmm.
And listen, I'm not no dream killer by no. Listen, cause I want if all y'all can go to Notre Dame, go.
Right.
But understand this: Notre Dame, Georgia, all your big time. Listen, they looking for. I like Cole Hackney. I always got to credit Cole Hackney with this. They always looking for that pretty girl in the club.
Oh yeah.
They looking for they looking for that pretty girl. They looking for that measurement. She got the 4'3".
I can't.
She's 6'2". She booming like off top. You like she a stud. I ain't got to go over to ask for a phone number. She the one.
I'm not doing this. I'm not going in that conversation with you.
It's a beauty contest. It's a beauty contest, and it's so funny talking to you call me Jamaican, one of my many sports jobs. Talked to an NFL scout this week, and he was like, "Hey man," and we had this conversation every. He said, "Hey man, will you please remind these 5'11" to 6 foot kids they better start backpedaling? You know how hard it is to find a corner. Everybody think they're a receiver.
Yeah.
Everybody think they're a receiver, and we don't have enough DBs. If you can find a kid who's 6 foot and can backpedal, he coordinated and he can run, man, he gonna get a shot.
Get there, get him.
And to this D1 or bust mentality, I'm like, so you mean to tell me all these schools, where we always say 733 schools are playing football?
Mm-hmm.
You mean to tell me you're going to cut off 500 schools, 600 schools because you're only worried about 133? Bust up.
They do it though, Maceo, and you know that. Let me tell you something though, and let me just be very straightforward. I see. Don't do that right now, because D1 of us is not the right now. You'll be playing. You will have played or will be playing your last down. It's just so many opportunities. I mean, so here's the goal, and this is what I always try and remind people when they're talking about what schools. What is your goal? Your goal is to do what? Play at the next level. Then, if that is your goal, then we're gonna get you in the best school that meets your needs the best, regardless if it's D1 or not, right? I get that you want to be in a program that gives you all of these things. Remember, we've gone over this before about the shiny things and the things
things
and the things that kids see. So they're like, oh, I want that. Do you want that? And do you want to be on the sideline though? You know what I'm saying? So like, there's a difference. And I'm not saying that these smaller programs don't get stuff too. They do. It may not be the same things, but they get stuff too, right? Because more and more now you're seeing more than going to like bowl games and stuff like that because their programs they're allowing them to be a part of that process. But I encourage people to look away from all of those things and look at like what is it that I'm trying to get out of this, and hopefully for all, you're trying to get a free secondary education, right? Because there has to be life behind sports. And so that's what I always try and preach as an educator is that life beyond sports. No one can last forever in sports, right? And only the cream of the crop will be the ones that never have to work again, right? Because hopefully they've saved their money, they've invested it correctly, they've done the right things. But even there are some that made plenty of money and didn't do the right thing, right? And so now they're still back out here working or have started a business. But even if you start your own business, people, you're still working, right? So
yeah,
you may not be at somebody else's 9 to 5, but you're at your own, right? And a lot of times when you're an entrepreneur, you work longer hours anyway. So I want to encourage you all to think about like, why are we doing this? And the reason behind it should be for free secondary education, right? While getting to do the sport that we love, right? And make sure you love your sport because then it makes it all worthwhile.
Yeah. Be careful with the. I've seen it too many times. D1 the bus, coach. Senior year.
Just so many opportunities out there. Just so many opportunities, and again, the goal is to still play. And I tell you all, it's hard to go and sit and watch when you're used to being a contributor.
That's gospel. That's show no gospel right there, Wendy. So of course it's that time of the show where you drop this wisdom. It's not Wednesday, but it's Sunday. Give us that Wendy's wisdom.
So you know what? Today I want to talk to you all about your FAFSA because like that's been coming up a lot. People have gotten kind of behind on the FAFSA because of COVID. Like they haven't been concentrating on those things. You know, the FAFSA always opens up in October of every year. And so like there are still schools that are asking like, where's your FAFSA? Where's your FAFSA? Where's your FAFSA? And so y'all make sure you are getting this paperwork done. It's based on your year before's taxes. So if you filed your 2019 in this case, you should be able to complete a FAFSA, especially for a kid leaving high school and entering. Sometimes kids have to fill out their own because maybe they are seen as an independent instead of a dependent. But just make sure you're getting all of this paperwork because all of this is, you know, it helps determine the aid that your child can get. Everybody's not going to go to school on a full athletic scholarship. We've talked about head count sports before. I've talked to you about that and how it works. Maybe Macy, we can kind of explain that again on another show. But talked about head count sports and what that means. Those are kids that are also always going to be on full athletic. There's no other way, no how. But you're also talking about your Power 5 schools, right?
Right.
Otherwise, a lot of times the money that is made up for these kids, it comes from merit grades, i.e. grades, which equals grades, right? It comes from your grades. It comes from things you've done out in the community because they can pull scholarship money because you did something out in your community, like you may have volunteered. So they pull all these different, and they pull some athletic money, except for a D3. Remember, they don't have any athletic. They pull all these pieces together, right? And they try and piece you together full money, right? But it also depends on how much aid that the government is determined that you need. And so y'all need to fill it out because so many of our kids qualify for Pell and some other grant money, right? Not just Pell, but other grant money. And that is the money that these kids use to live off of at school because we know that their parents cannot afford to send them any other money, right? So make sure you're filling it out. Make sure if you need help, you're asking for oftentimes there's a counselor in the building or they have a point of contact that is a FAFSA person that they have off of the campus that works through the government office that can assist people with filling out these forms. It's all online. You actually can do it from your phone, people. Like there's no reason that you should not have it done. Get it done, people. And then on the side of that, make sure you got your NCAA eligibility center done too.
Yeah.
If you qualify for free and reduced lunch, the NCAA eligibility center is free for you. All you need to do is talk to your counselor. FAFSA is free to fill out. It's free. It's free. It's free money. it's your way to give it. And they always, always wait to the last minute. It's always an argument. And then they need some assistance. And I'm like, I don't have time to do that today. Like, that's not on my schedule for today, is to sit down and do fast food.
Coach Faust, I'm gonna tell you a funny story, and that's kind of a situation like that is kind of what really got me and Wendy back in the lab faster than what we probably were going to do, because I had a parent call me, and they were in full panic mode, and they were trying to figure out, Coach, what do this. The first thing I said, Coach, I said, fill out your FAFSA. Nah, we ain't fill it out. So what you basically saying, y'all finna write a check to wherever y'all probably finna walk on or whatever y'all.
You don't want this free money.
We leave so much money on the table. It's because it's our kryptonite. Like, soon as that thing open, you say open October.
October. It's just October 1.
See the thing. But listen, what y'all got to do, y'all got to start filling out y'all taxes and fill them out the right way. Stop listening.
Then you trying to finagle. Look, you trying to finagle the pass because you done lied on your taxes.
Hey, listen.
Maybe that's what the issue is. Maybe that's what it is. We just don't know.
Them 3 other kids you trying to claim for that quick money that you finna blow in Walmart and at the car dealership. We got to be forward thinking. Like, yeah, man. You know everybody. You know everybody finna go get that Challenger. You know, tax season is upon us.
I'm gonna go get 1-to-1. You stupid.
Everybody finna go get a Challenger. They ain't gonna get a Hellcat, but they gonna get a Challenger. They gonna get the V6. They ain't get the V12. And it might get a V3. But nah, listen, everybody. And so Coach Foster, like, so I called Wendy, and I was like, listen, I got a story to tell you. I got a parent on the phone who they scrambling trying to get this workout. They trying to find stop going to man tax service. Yeah, you gotta leave alone. Yeah, because think about it. And what you can't do, you can't leave your W-2 with man and be like, hey, it's whatever. No, it's not whatever. Because listen, hey y'all, IRS the biggest gang in these streets.
Man.
And listen, they'll leave you alone for 2 years, for 3 years. Listen, when your name come, they say, you know what? Let go pay them a visit.
Right.
Let go pay. Let go.
What you don't want to do is be audited.
Let go pull up their social. So you claim that, yeah, we sent you that check. Yeah, we're gonna need that back.
Yeah.
You done already spent the money. We need that back.
All of it.
You can start the payment plan today. Matter of fact, go on and give me your route number, all that stuff.
Now we coming for your paycheck.
We not listen. Hey, go on and set up the payment plan before we got the garniture. We gonna get ours. So everybody,
every time
it's important to feel this fast and feel it. Listen, everybody. Do your taxes right. At least while your kids in high school. Now, when
and the sooner the better, because like it's kind of like the early bird gets the worm with money, right?
Right.
There's stuff in there are the ones that and they see have the most need are the ones that are going to get money.
Yeah. Everybody, fill out your tax and fill them out properly. Don't try to claim your cousin, them kids, and them.
They done claim them too, so now everybody in trouble.
All of a sudden, I said, wait a minute, about 4 people claimed little wee right here.
It's gonna be rough.
Fill out the forms, everybody, and listen. Don't let your crazy method of doing your taxes or just not filing your taxes at all. Don't let that be the reason that
don't let it
collect this money, because there's plenty of money out here and they're giving it away.
Yeah.
So we're gonna close with this one, Wendy. And again, another one that's near and dear to your heart. Maximizing your social media platform, especially during this pandemic. Let me tell y'all something. Y'all should have your Twitter, your Instagram, whatever social media platform you should be promoting the hell out yourself. Talk to him, Wendy.
You know what?
Make it make sense, Wendy. Make it make sense.
Okay, so one, I'm gonna tell y'all this again. Go scrub your social media. That's number one. Always scrub first, right? Make sure you don't go crazy on that, because they always will come back and get you. Hopefully nobody's got a screenshot, but most 9 times out of 10 they do. But just go ahead and clean it up anyway. Second, change your social media to your name. Y'all, the nicknames, the coaches can't find you. And so they're calling us like, so what's the IG? Like somewhere in there, you've got to have your name, like, right? First and last name. At least your school, your number, something, your position. Get that information in there because they're having difficulty finding you. And that's the issue, right? But yeah, use it as a marketing tool. Use it to promote yourself. It's a free marketing tool too, right? So many companies want you to pay them to market you. You can market yourself on social media because that is where most coaches are looking right now anyway.
Every day.
Like, hey, shout out your homies, your friends, whatever that's playing too, even if it's in another sport, if it's your friend that's playing baseball, shout him out as well. Because what this looks like is you're a team player, right? So make sure not only are you promoting self, positively promoting self, but also that you're positively promoting the team and others around you. That's a good look for you. It shows a lot about your character, which is one of the big things that coaches are looking at. You know, who are you when you're not on the field? Because truth be told, a lot of us change, right? We get on the field and we become some other person, right? And then when we're off the field, it's a different. Not that our character change, but our personality may be different, right? Yeah. And so you have to make sure that you are positive in character and showing them what they need for their particular program.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I'm telling y'all something else too. Again, from an NFL scout homie, he said when they review film or when they actually go to games, they want to see what you're doing when the play not coming your way. If something bad happens in the game, they want to see how you respond.
Yep.
If you get a penalty, how do you react? All of these things give them a because listen, when everything going good, we all good. When it's raining, you know what I'm saying? When it's a little trouble, when it's some adversity, do you fight through it? Can you fight through it? Or are you one of them folk who gonna go over there, whine and complain? You're gonna turn over a cooler like I did once upon a time. And it wasn't my fault, but it was my fault.
I see folks kicking stuff, throwing stuff. I'm like, yo, wait a minute.
Yeah,
we need player personnel on the side for that now. Get down here and sit down for you mess all this up. All this hard work, mess it up. Go sit down.
Before you mess all that, I will never forget covering I can't say this. Then y'all about to know the player, but it was a lot of scouts at this game to come see him, and they lost the game in overtime. He cut the monkey, and when I tell you, needless to say, like the schools that were there that night, he didn't go to either one of those schools. Matter of fact, his trajectory went way from the school that were recruiting him. Yes, coach. A lot of these kids ain't built for adversity, and a lot of it is
they are not. They're not built like I'm telling you. They're not built like us. I tell people all the time, like these kids not built the same, man. They're not built like how we were built.
I laugh. People are sometimes be like, "You are crazy patient." I'm like, you ever tried to register at HBCU for classes every semester?
No.
Come on, man. And we did that without no phone, without no. You had your Discman, and if the battery went there, you didn't have like when you in line now, like you don't really be worried about line because I mean you can watch Netflix, you can watch a whole episode,
right,
and won't even know you're in line. When we went to school and when we had to register, you had to sing to yourself, you had to read a book. You had to sing to yourself
out loud, just hum.
And then when you get to the window, then you might not have what you need. Then you got to go. That go at that line over there.
I was never built for that life, and I'm just gonna leave. I've told you that story many times. I'm never built for that life.
Yeah, listen. Registering for HBCU usually about a 3-day process. You just have to, you know what I'm saying? You have to just tough it out. You just have to tough it out.
But the experience that you had, there was wait.
Yeah, and they will say, man, listen, some of it like it's an hour wait. That's all. Good. Like I say, man, with all the technology we got now, man, if you got
Maybe that's why I'm impatient now.
So
I don't understand. I've never
yeah. See y'all PWIs, y'all just, you know, cut y'all TV on.
Oh, it's traffic. I'm like, oh, I'm still at home.
And the class is scrolling. Y'all can register on the phone and all this stuff. Yeah.
On the phone. We did.
Yeah, y'all, y'all, you know.
But it was a long process because you had to type all them numbers in on that phone. So you typing in the course numbers on the phone. Then you got to get the extension part of it right because that was the teacher that you wanted, that 01 or 02 or the section. That had to be right because if not, you messed up, you get the wrong teacher and it's over.
We would always by day 3 of registration, and Coach Thompson, he was like, I mean, who ain't registered for class yet? Because you can't play. you can't play on Saturday if you ain't registered. And all of a sudden you magically be registered. But you had to go through that 3-day process. Whew. And it was crazy, especially, you know, if you went in your major classes, you know, you just general right now, you really ain't gonna get no classes. Yeah, Coach Foster. Listen.
It's like trying to navigate the subway in New York. That's what it is. You can navigate that subway in New York. You can get anywhere. You can do anything. Now I can navigate that. I can navigate.
Like, do I ride the B,
the Q, the R, downtown, uptown?
Like, wait a minute. Hold on. You mean to tell me I ain't supposed to be on the B? What the next stop?
I can navigate that very well. I'm really
shout out to the New York transit system,
man.
Right? Gangster.
I don't even talk about it.
Whenever I'm up top, I try to stay where I ain't got to everything walking distance. I can't do the subway. No.
So you know, when I first started traveling to New York, that's where a lot of my family is from. We used to always get a cab into the city, and I was like, you know what? The train it's like $45 or more to go get a cab.
Yeah.
City, and it doesn't matter if you fly into LaGuardia or the other airport. I can't even think of the name of it right now. LaGuardia or
JFK.
JFK.
That's why I'm always out of JFK, baby.
But here's the thing: if you get on the subway, it's like the sub fare. And you can get straight into the city. You can get dropped off really close to your hotel if you're staying in the city. It's just crazy, right? But the crazy thing is, like, that's the mode of transportation. It's not even a big deal. You get on there, people on their suitcase, all kinds of. Now you just gotta check your surroundings sometimes, but you know,
because don't nobody have no car though.
Just get in where you fit in, and you know what I'm saying. Don't make no real eye contact. Don't stare. Just keep it pushing.
In my Foot Locker days, I almost took a store in New York.
Oh yeah, I love New York. Now that's one place I know it's fast and it's expensive, but I would live there. I don't care what people say.
Oh yeah. Listen, the only reason I didn't take the store because they were like, yeah, you probably ain't gonna need your car. What? Y'all crazy? Like, dude, driving around here is out. Like,
now my cousin, she drives everywhere. She doesn't care. She's not getting on the subway. She'll pay $45 to park. She doesn't care. And I'm like, well, we can just ride the subway. She's like, no, we're not doing that. We're not doing that.
New York City, everybody. But yeah, everybody, as we close out, listen. Use that social media for good.
Yes. Use it wisely.
Yeah. Right now, I don't want to hear about your mixtape. You know what I'm saying? I don't care about your drip.
Oh, hey, y'all, be careful about your stories too. I know they disappear.
Oh.
People screen record those.
It's up for 24 hours, everybody. It's up for 24 hours.
The people are screen recording or taking a snapshot of what's in them. Don't let those come back and haunt you later either. Even though they disappear, they come back. I've seen people Snapchats come back too on them.
Yeah, and even listen, drinking Gatorade out of Gatorade bottle. Listen, y'all know what the red Solo cup equate to in a lot of people's mind.
Yes.
Don't pour that, and then the double styrofoam cup. Y'all don't. I mean, why?
Yeah, don't be on that crumbling herb and all this other stuff.
Why? Why?
But you know what y'all like to do. Don't do any of that. Don't expose yourself like that.
Yeah. Hey man, this was fun.
It was. I miss you, ACO.
As always, man.
I
Look
mean, we
here,
always
man.
talk, but
Yeah, man. Yeah, we do, man. I'll take you up on that. What we talked about a pre-show,
yes.
man. Let me know.
All right.
Let me know something, everybody. For my lovely co-host Wendy Ghostin, man. It's your boy, man. I gotta get ready to go to bed, man. Got boot camp, got double duty.
Yeah.
We got tires tomorrow at 5:30.
Okay, you ain't gotta rub it in. I gotta get up early though. Still. I'm not quite as early.
Yeah. As for me, I had a super cinnamon swirl today, so yeah,
Oh.
I had to have it.
Right, so I will say that.
Can't wait till you get back on your runs. Get back
I
on
am.
your run.
You
Yeah,
know I am.
I know it. Tag your boy.
I got you.
Everybody, y'all have a great rest of your Sunday. Y'all say I'm watching baseball. Wait a minute, what's that on my TV? Is that Real Housewives? Oh, hell no. But I tell y'all what though, basketball wise, Evelyn. Oh my God. I was all on Evelyn. Hey, this is a recruit show, everybody.
See my face. See my face.
Yeah, hey man. Evelyn Instagram. Kids, parents, we always here for you, man. Next week, we got another dope show for y'all. 6 o'clock, we'll be here, man. I'm getting ready to cut this up, YouTube it. It'll be out there, everybody.
All right.
Man, y'all have a good rest of your evening. Let me go check Evelyn. Let me go check Evelyn Instagram.
Oh gosh.
We gone, y'all.
Bye.
Peace.